Hi, I'm Shaka Hislop and you're here at Extra Time TV.
So up next, Manchester City take on Tottenham at home after coming away with a 1-0 loss to Tottenham. A lot of people thought that Manchester City were going to be easy victors in this game. They were wrong. Pochettino and his men set up his team really well. Manchester City did not play the way that we expect them to play, that fluid possession style of football. They hardly got penetration in the final third of Tottenham. Tottenham setting up their team with 5 men across the middle, it seemed, crowding out the Manchester City midfield. They are not allowed to be fluid. And the talking point that everybody's speaking about is that penalty missed by Sergio Aguero. A lot of people are debating, was it a legitimate call on Rose? Was it really a handball? VAR, once again, it seems that we can't stop talking about VAR or VAR, because it seems as if that people are saying that decisions that are made in real time and then looking at the replays, that's the main argument for a lot of people. But let me know what you think. It's a very divisive topic. We keep speaking about it. Do you think that it was a penalty? Moving along, Sergio Aguero missed that penalty, which would come back to haunt them. Tottenham eventually stifled them and eventually got that goal in the end, which shocked a lot of people. Pep Guardiola's men did not get in behind the Tottenham defense. Tottenham seemed revitalized by their stadium, and I was very impressed with Pochettino's setup for this particular game. Everybody knows Pep Guardiola's style, and a lot of people are starting to criticize Pep. He does not have a good record. If I'm not mistaken, he has not won the first leg in a Champions League tie since all the way back to 2012, which is shocking. I actually didn't know that. I was actually seeing that when I was doing my research. So that is not a good start for Pep Guardiola. And also, many people are starting to question Pep, including Gundogan, who basically ripped the players to shreds by saying, these guys are making mistakes at this level, and that it's not word for word. You can check out the quote. I'll put the link in the description below, where he criticized Manchester City, saying that these guys, they make crucial mistakes when the time comes. And I can't disagree with him. I think last year we saw the same thing against Liverpool. Manchester City were cruising in the Premier League, and then they sort of wobbled when they played Klopp and his men. And it seemed as if it's the same thing right now. Tottenham, player for player, is not as strong as Manchester City, but Pochettino showed that he is, tactically pretty clever in the way he set his team up. He crowded out the Manchester City midfield, and they were not able to do that fluid passing and get in behind the back four of Tottenham. All right, folks, let's take a look at the stats. Manchester City with 59% possession, Tottenham with 41%, which is not the usual statistics that you see for games like this. Manchester City usually dominates and get lots of shots on target, but they did not. They did not get behind the Tottenham back four. They had problems in the final third. They did not look as fluid as they normally look, and the chance creation did not look like it was going to come from anywhere. I'll be very honest, Manchester City looked devoid of ideas at times. They tried to play their style of play, and it's been one of Pep Guardiola's biggest criticisms. He has his style of play. We all love it when it works, but maybe his tactical rigidity hurts him in the end. And I think it seems as if Pochettino, in this particular case, sort of out-coached Pep. Prepared his team, and he made Manchester City look devoid of ideas. Heading into this second leg, the pressure is definitely going to be on Manchester City. A lot of people are saying Manchester City are going to win this game, but there's a couple factors you have to look into. Manchester City under Pep have not had a great record. They're still newbies in the Champions League. They want to assert themselves in the Champions League and become a footballing superpower in Europe. And I think sometimes the weight of expectation goes on these teams that spend a lot of money with a bunch of players. And it's more so, you see it with PSG, but I think Manchester City has that same problem. Maybe they can get past that hurdle. But with Tottenham heading into the game with that 1-0 narrow margin, I think the advantage is with Pochettino. If they play the same way, crowd Manchester City out, I think they have no problems shutting them out, getting them more frustrated. And as the game goes along, Manchester City will create spaces which Tottenham can exploit because they have the players to do so. Also, we have to take into consideration that Harry Kane is injured, and he's a crucial loss from Tottenham. This is a guy who has been banging in the goals. A lot of people have been rating him as arguably one of the best strikers in the world. I still think Sergio Aguero is the best, although that last game did not do him justice, but he has been injured. But missing Harry Kane in a game such as this is definitely a big loss for Tottenham. He's a reference point. He keeps defenders busy. He is very athletic, and he is not afraid to get stuck in and physical when he needs to. I think Harry Kane is a big loss for Tottenham. So I'm not going to dodge the question this time. I actually think that this may be another heartbreak for Manchester City. You know, I think Tottenham is going to frustrate Manchester City, and we may very much see what happened last year. Manchester City will come guns a-blazing and attack Tottenham. Pochettino and his men showed that they can stifle them, and they will get them on a counter-attack, breaking Manchester City's hearts. Are they capable of basically thrashing Tottenham? I don't think so. A lot of people are making it seem like they're just going to go there and destroy them. Pochettino and Pep Guardiola base their style on the school of Bielsa. So they know each other. All the way back in Spain, Pochettino played at Espanyol. So I think if it's one coach that could understand Pep and his style, it's Mauricio Pochettino. So you folks out there, let me know what you think in the comment section below. According to our polls, a large percentage of people are saying Manchester City are going to go through. 90% to be precise. But the polls are still open. Be sure to vote in the comment section, in the description below, sorry. The links are in the description. We have our Facebook and Twitter polls. So do that. Also, don't forget to comment in the comment section below. I see lots of you all have been commenting. We appreciate that. We love it. And we love the feedback. It's been amazing. We saw some very detailed posts, some very intelligent fans out there. And it goes to show that this game just brings us all together. And I know how cliche that sounds, but I love it. Also, stay tuned because we'll be doing a special episode with ESPN FC's Shaka Hislop. Be sure to check that out. We have some very, very interesting topics, specifically in the CONCACAF region and the Gold Cup. So be sure to check that out. This is Andre Sooklal. Like, subscribe, keep watching.
Hi, I'm Shaka Hislop, and you're here at Extra Time TV.
Ronaldo decision validated?
You came through unscathed.
It's always good fun.
Thanks for watching. If you want to check out more, look at this video. And don't forget to click the subscribe button because when you do, one of your enemies will be destroyed.